Hello, everybody. Welcome back to, I forgot what this game is called. Touchstarved, I think? Yeah, that makes sense. We are, a cursed traveler who has just arrived in a new, unfamiliar city. We are learning to navigate, and we are very poor. We were almost killed in an attack on our way to the city, but a doctor has healed us for free. Very nice of them. And now we are exploring the town. This must be Iridia's entertainment district. I'm polishing off my food and dusting the crumbs from my hands when I spot a poster. It features the silhouette of a smiling man wearing a single dagger-like earring and the word Bloodhounds printed above his head. A motto, as above, so below, circles the artwork. If Leander is the leader of the Bloodhounds, then the face printed on the poster is likely his. I follow the line of identical posters around a corner and nearly hit my head on a precariously dangling wooden sign. Looking up, faded orange letters read, The Wet Wick. The facade of buildings looks like it's seen better days, but I hear faint music and laughter coming from inside. Inside the bar is a far cry from the abandoned exterior. Not even midday, yet most of the tables and booths are occupied by a loose assembly of people in matching green cloaks. It's time to meet the D&D party. Bustling bars are not something I'm used to, but I steel myself with a deep breath before pushing forward. A cursory glance doesn't turn up anyone with dagger-shaped earring. I'm about to head towards the counter when a chant rises from the center of the room. Show, 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 show. The remaining green cloaks abandon the bar and their booths to rush towards the center of the room in a sudden torrent. With no time left to move out of the way, I'm caught, swept along the ale-stench current. Hey! Rhythmic chanting drowns out my voice. I thrash, throwing out my elbows as the press of bodies grows heavier. My hips knock into a table. I grip it, holding on tight to steady myself. But the crowd is stilled. The chanting stopped. A pair of gilded boots stride across the tabletop. Seriously, you dogs. Again. Oh, shit. Scattered laughter and cheers arise from the audience. I drag my eyes upwards. Fuck yeah. A well-dressed... God damn. Alright, a well-dressed man stands on the table in front of me. His broad shoulders framed by the thick lapels of a trench coat. This really is the last time, alright. The time when he speaks, the audience falls silent, as though bewitched by his magnetic presence or rich, low voice. But nothing is as captivating as his smile. He beams at the crowd around him, a performer on a makeshift stage. Don't blink, or you'll miss it. He laughs, and the dagger-shaped earring dangling from his left ear catches the light in a flash of gold. It would seem I have found Leander. He raises his hand above the audience and snaps. A flash of pale green light. Real magic. No ordinary stage trick blinds me. As the brilliance ebbs, my gaze refocuses. Goddamn. Sorry, he's hot. My gaze refocuses on the mage towering above me. He flicks his wrist and the magic spiraling around him coalesces. A delicate flower stem sprouts from between his pinched fingers. One by one, glowing lily petals spring forth. With a flourish, the mage presents the conjured flowers. The audience bursts into clapping and cheers. A genuine magic show was the last thing I expected from a place called the Wet Wick. Leander plucks the iridescent bouquet out of the air and turns in a slow circle. Giving the audience a good luck. Now who could use some good luck? Eager onlookers scoot closer to the table. Some reach for the lilies while others whistle and call Leander's name. But his cool green eyes slide right over them, locking on me instead. How about you? My chest tightens. Every person gathered turns to stare at me. I think we take the flowers. I reach out all too aware of the way my fingers tremble as I carefully take the flowers from him. There's no weight to them, only a faint warmth that radiates from the stems. As soon as the flowers leave Leander's hands, the light dims. They fade away in a shower of opalescent light. To my surprise, Leander laughs under his breath. That's the problem with flowers. They don't last long, but they leave an impression, right? He grins at me and I find myself smiling back. Leander steps off the table, dropping among the excited crowd with an audible clink. Alright, bloodhounds, get back to your drink. Show's over. The green cloaks disperse at his command, returning to their tables and booths. Before I can make my way towards Leander, his eyes find me. He gives me a friendly wave and then beckons me over to the crowded counter. I manage to squeeze behind him, but there's so little room that his broad shoulder presses against mine. I tense, but he doesn't seem to mind at all. This your first time in Iridia? He says it lightly, with a genuine air of curiosity. Do I stick out that much? No, but I'm certain I'd remember seeing a face as lovely as yours around Lowtown. My eyes flicker to the polished countertop. I'm not used to flattery, and being this close makes eye contact difficult. As if on cue, the bartender approaches us. What can I get you? Surprise me, and add anything my friend wants to my tab. I wasn't expecting this generosity, but I have to admit, I do feel a little thirsty after all that fried dough. I'll have what he's having. While the bartender leaves to fix our drinks, Leander leans his elbows on the counter, close enough to notice the purple shadows under his lower lids. His eyes wander over me in return. When they lock on my bandaged hands, a sour taste rises in my throat. Here comes the questions. So, what brings you to the Wick? Ross sent me. He pushes his hair back from his forehead, but it immediately falls right back into place. Oh, fucking same. So, it's about work. The bartender returns with a pair of glasses filled with what I can only assume is beer. I raise my glass and give it an experimental sniff. It smells faintly yeasty, but with an undercurrent I can't quite place. A quick sip confirms my worst suspicions. It's awful. Somehow briny and sour in a way that reminds me of pickles. But any thought of complaining dies the moment I look up and see Leander taking a deep swig from his glass. He lets out a satisfied breath. How can I be of assistance? I need to get to the cenobium. As soon as the word cenobium leaves my mouth, the entire bar falls silent. Bloodhounds twist around in their seats and to gawk openly. Finally, an especially drunk one speaks up. The hell are you, bringing up the cenobium in here? Throw him out! This is bloodhound territory. The vitriol catches me off guard. From the angry looks thrown my way, it's clear I've broken some unspoken rule just by mentioning the cenobium. When I glance at Leander, he is drinking, though he hasn't noticed the uproar. Only when he catches me looking down does he lower his glass. For the love of... He drags a hand down his face. Hey, keep it down, will you? This is business. I tense, expecting an argument. But the outspoken bloodhounds silently return to their drinks. Only a handful continue to watch me warily. Sorry about them. Cenobium's a bit of a touchy subject in these parts. Mix in enough drinks and, well, you saw. How about we continue this outside? The alleyway. With our pants down. When I give him a terse nod, he pushes away from the bar counter. I follow Leander to an alleyway tucked behind the wet wick, where layers of frayed bloodhound posters have been plastered to the walls. Seeing them, oh, he's in like a different, oh my god, they changed his fucking drawings based on the lighting in the room? Right? That's a different shade of green. No, it isn't. I got color theoried. I'm so mad. Seeing them side by side, the resemblance between Leander and his likeness on the poster is impressive. Ras didn't send you here for help with the cenobium, did he? From the look he gives me, he already knows the answer. I glance away. No, he didn't. He suggested I find an alternative. Yet here you are, asking about them anyway. What do you need the cenobium for? I don't want to tell him about my curse. The less people know about my capabilities, the better. Thankfully, Lander takes my reluctant silence as an answer. Well, I see you're already aware of the city's currency. Information is worth its weight in gold here. Karas told you the truth. Cenobium's dangerous. Get on their bad side and they'll imprison you if you're lucky. Or torture you if you're not. But the Cenobium's supposed to be a place of learning. A sanctuary. Cenobium's always been heralded as the last bastion of human knowledge. A shining beacon of hope in a world steeped in nightmares. If any place held answers, it would be the Cenobium. That's why I came here. That's what they want you to think. But things that seem too good to be true are often just that. Such a simple statement, yet it leaves me reeling. If it's true, if I staked everything on a lie, what now? Leander clears his throat. But as I always say, there's solutions to every problem, and alternatives to every solution. He claps his hands and turns to me with a brilliant smile. That's why Karas pointed you to the Bloodhounds. Let us help you. Whether it's hunting Solus, finding people, or recovering stolen valuables, we can do it all, and free of charge. Shaking my head before he even finished his practiced speech. My patience is wearing dangerously thin. Listen, I appreciate the offer, but my problem can't be solved by a group of good Samaritans. To my jargon, Leander nods slowly. Then your problem must be fairly serious. And if the Cenobium's your first choice, you're searching for a magical solution, aren't you? My eyes widen, he nods along, as though he suspected all along. I'd be happy to help you out. That is, if you tell me what ails you. Leander might not work for the Cenobium, but he is a mage, and a powerful one at that, if his demonstration earlier is any indication. I'm silent, plagued by indecision. What is up with this finger right here? That's not a finger. Especially with the way that the rest are oriented. That's not how fingers work. Oh no, is this AI generated? No, that's his thumb. Yeah, that's his thumb. Okay. I assume that was his index finger. It's his thumb. That's normal hand shape. We're good. It's just a really long looking thumb. I'm silent, plagued by indecision. I don't know if I can trust him, but it's not like I have any alternatives. I hate to admit it, but this could be my only path forward. My confession comes out in a pained whisper. I'm cursed. Cursed? Oh, now I'm very curious. What kind of curse? Something ancestral or more recent? He looks me up and down, taking in my my face, my eyes, and finally my hands. It's your hands, isn't it? I wait until I'm certain my voice will remain steady before answering. My touch is dangerous. It changes people, hurts them. Before I've even finished, Leander takes his glove off. He tucks his left hand free and flexes his fingers. Let's see it. He offers me his hand. A prismatic flash of magic ripples across his palm, and I'm already shrinking backwards. I can't. I don't care how confident Leander is, I can't bring myself to hurt him. To see his kind face twist into a mask of madness. Believe me, this isn't an ordinary curse. I'll be fine. Perhaps where you come from, your affliction was strange and one of a kind. Spend a year in this city and you'll see 1,000 curses, and thrice as many cures. Do you really think Karas would send you here if I couldn't handle it? How should I know? I only met him today. I'm as good as any mage in the Cenobium. Better even. If they can help you, so can I. You don't know what you're asking me. I'm asking you to trust me. I look from Leander's outstretched hand to his confident smile. Then with a short breath, I begin unwinding the bandages from my hand. Fine. But if you lose control, don't say I didn't warn you. You can tie me up first if it makes you feel better. With each joint I expose, I grow more... Yes, tie him up. You saw what happened to the last person. I grow more and more certain that this is a terrible idea. Ready when you are. If he's bothered by the way my hand looks, he doesn't show it. My fingers hover shakily over his palm. 3, 2, 1. I tap his palm once, as quickly as possible. It's barely more than a brush, but that's all it ever takes. When I look at his face, expecting to see the worst, Leander only grins. See? It can't be. This time, when I reach out to touch Leander's palm again, he catches my wrist before I can pull away. I told you. There's really nothing to worry about. He trails off when my thumb brushes the soft skin of his inner wrist. I search Leander's face for traces of madness, but his eyes remain clear, soft, green. Color rises in his cheeks, but he remains still except for the subtle bobbing of his throat. Neither of us speak as I trace the contours of Leander's palm, lost in an awareness I wasn't prepared for. I've been with other people, kissed them, been embraced by them, and more, but not like this. My fingers, long deprived by years of bandaging, pick up every single detail, the grooves of his palm, the smooth shell of his nails, and the pulse of his heart. For as long as I have lived, I have never been able to hold someone's hands, not without dire consequences. I never realized what I was missing until this moment. And you're missing out on the full game! While Leander's pulse is steady, mine is hammering as fear gives way to excitement. Keep touching him! My hand glides over Leander's wrists, up his forearm where smooth skin abruptly gives way to the raised scar by the edge of his sleeve. It matches the one that runs from his collar to his cheekbone. Could it be the same wound? I glance at Leander's face, and his lips part as he considers his words before speaking. Am I the first person you've been able to touch like this? My hand goes still on his arm. So far. I'll admit, your touch does make it somewhat difficult to stay level-headed, but not due to your power. Damn, Leander! Okay! He takes my hand. His soft green eyes flick to mine before he turns it to inspect the golden fissures crisscrossing my knuckles. Look, we match. He points at the golden pin on his coat collar, and I give him a small smile. I draw my hand back and take a steadying breath. My hand feels as though it's been stuffed with cotton. Habit alone guides me through the motions of rewrapping my hand, although my fingers tremble too much for the bandages to lie flat. I can't believe that worked. May I ask your name? I'm Delta. You were right to hide this from me, Delta. This curse of yours, it's unlike anything I've ever dealt with. I can tell you're discreet. You'd best not go off showing that to anyone else. I didn't plan on it. Are you staying in Lowtown? I pause. Room and board is something I hadn't yet considered. I don't know. Let's get you properly settled then. Hey barkeep, get this bitch a room. The Wetwick is noticeably quieter. Without the leader, most of the bloodhounds have disappeared, or in a few cases fallen asleep behind their drinks. Got any rooms left, or did my lot grab all to sleep it off? The bartender, who I now realize doubles as an innkeeper. Yeah, that's every fucking tap. Dog, have you? Alright. Slides the key onto the counter. You know I always keep the corner room open for your escapades. Leander's laugh sounds slightly strained. And I always appreciate it, but you're mistaken. This is just for my friend, Delta. Sure. Stay as long as you like. You two have fun. Escapades, huh? Leander clears his throat, then holds the key out to me. But I hesitate. My coin purse barely holds enough for a day's worth of meals, let alone a room. How much do I owe you? Nothing. Bloodhound rates. My treat, since you shared your secret, food, drink, warm bed, anything you need. Carefully, I take the key from him. It's small, but weighs heavily in his palm. In my palm. I never expected to have a warm bed in Iridia, let alone free meals. Thank you. Go explore, Delta. You'll find many roads in Iridia, each leading to different answers. But if you need a reprieve from what haunts you, come find me. We'll have hot sex. Just be careful. I nod, taking one last look at the gleaming bronze key before tucking it into the pocket of my cloak for safekeeping. Leander gives me one last friendly wave before I depart. How long is this demo? The air clings, sodden and heavy. Without the morning crowd, the sunless streets look barren and bleak. Even the peddlers are long gone. Only a pair of crows remain quibbling over stale crusts in the gutter. I feel ridiculous pain of envy. At least they've got a reason to fight. I've never felt so lost. Karas and Leander both made it clear that the Cenobium can't be trusted, but I came so far, endured so much. I need to see the Cenobium for myself, if only to satisfy my curiosity. I should have asked someone at the bar for directions before leaving. I'm about to turn back when a shadow passes over me. A cloud, I think, until a puff of hot breath tickles the back of my neck. Damn. The shadow runs down the street in rivulets. Formless dark spreads like ink on a blotted shapes. Claws stretch. A mullet splits open to reveal long, jagged teeth. A growl rumbles so low so deep I feel it. I want to run, scream, but I feel trapped, as though the slightest movement or single breath will snap the jaws around me shut. No, I won't let it end like this. If I'm gonna die, I want to see what got me first. I steel myself and then turn. The shadow vanishes as quickly as it came. I'm left standing in the middle of the street alone except for a figure reclining in the shade of a nearby stoop. Ooh! Yes! Oh, fuck yeah. A monster. That much is clear from a glance. One that could... oh, fuck. One that could nearly be mistaken for a human were it not for the tufted ears and tail curled around his ankle. God damn! With the dusk pink eyes, with pupils that sharpen like needles when they fall on me. Our eyes meet and the monster uncrosses his long legs, exposing his monster cock. His hair gleams with a shade of red that reminds me of unsettlingly blood, where it curls around his collared throat. Ooh, he is collared. Fuck. Jumpy, aren't you? His tone is so light and carefree, I glance over my shoulder to make sure he's speaking to me. When I look back, the stranger props his chin onto his knuckles and regards me with an inscrutable little smile. Didn't you see that shadow just now? It was massive, moved like a beast. Even as I speak, I'm aware of how ridiculous I must sound, but the stranger's smile doesn't falter. The only beasts I've seen are the Wick's drooling regulars, though this did catch my eye. Oh! Fucker stole! With a flourish of his hand, my in-room key appears dangling from his finger. It turns on its chain, glinting when it catches the light. Phylan's going crazy! My hand flies to my cloak pocket and sure enough, find them flat. He crooks his fingers, beckoning. I've already taken 2 steps forward before some stifled instinct stops me. Something feels wrong. Yeah, really? You were stolen from. You got stoled. I'm still on the edge. Thrumming with so much adrenaline that that stranger's shadow flickers at the edge of my vision. I always attract the worst kind of attention, and I can't get rattled now. Who said that key's mine? He smiles, wide enough to reveal pointed canines. I saw you drop it. You should really be more careful. In a city like this, someone might take advantage. Bald-faced lie without a hint of irony. There's no way I dropped that key, but I can't think of an explanation for how it went from my pocket to his hand. I approached the man, careful to keep an arm's length away. Doesn't look dangerous, but the most deadly ones never do. Damn. The stranger's chain softly clinks with the tilt of his head, his ears flick. Keeping your distance? I'd be stupid to trust you. You think I stole your dinky little key? From all the way over here? He gives me an exaggerated sigh. I'm good with my hands, but not that good. Do I really look like a common thief to you? He's got me there. The sheer fabric of his sleeves alone would be too expensive for most street thieves. Hell, his shoes look like they cost me more than I spent traveling here. And then there's the shop behind him. No matter the city. Parted pink curtains only ever mean one thing. I'm not looking too busy. I'm not looking to buy, and I doubt I could afford your services anyway. Lucky for you, I don't charge. Are we gonna fuck? Is every character going to fuck me? Please? Oh god, Chip would love this game. Oh my gosh, I have to tell Chip about this game. They would go crazy for it. For the first time since I stepped into that window, into that shadow, I felt something other than dread. My face grows hot. Wait, sorry, what was that? Man runs the tip of his tongue over a fang for the first time. My face grows hot. That's not what I meant. I'm flattered, really. Were sex my trade, I might make an exception for you. How about half over it? What? Damn. How about half off for a handy? Or you could just hand over my key. Ask nicely and I might even let you tug my tail. Ooh la la. God damn. Alright. Oh God. Oh God. I'm sorry. I'm getting all worked up over here. Just throw it here. So someone spindly little street urchin can snatch it and run. He raises the key and tilts his head so we can watch it dangle back and forth. I suppose I should just claim your room for myself. Not that I'd be caught dead slumming in the wick with the rest of those slack-jawed imbeciles. You're obviously not from around here, so tell me, traveler, what misfortune brought you to this wretched place? His voice practically drips with derision. I'm not telling you anything. What could have possibly drawn you to this dreary little pig pen, I wonder? He listlessly watches the arc of my key swinging around his finger. The weather's shit. Food's dreck. There's entirely too many monsters for a human to feel safe. Unless... Damn, stop looking at me like that. Bottom of me act up. Dagger sharp eyes flicked. Okay, maybe we shouldn't play this with Erin. I don't think Erin would approve of this behavior. Dagger sharp eyes flick towards me and they gleam with amusement. Unless you're just dying to consort with monsters. By now my embarrassment is worn away, leaving simmering impatience in its place. If this is a shakedown, it's the most frustrating one I've ever heard of. Yeah. How'd you know that I spent all my money and starved and nearly died in a swamp just so that I could crawl into bed with the first thirsty monster I saw? That earns me a bust of breathy laughter. He gazes at me under his dark lashes. Aren't you funny? Could you be any more obvious? I've been told subtlety is not my strength. So your place or mine? Well, mine's a fucking room in a tavern, so yours. I didn't find you if I had my key. Only if I had my key, then I might be able to invite you up. His languid gaze glides from me to the key in his hand and back. Come, take my hand and we'll go together. The more he flirts, the more convinced I become that this is some kind of trap. No matter how innocent monsters look, they always have tricks up their sleeves. And something tells me that this one's more dangerous than he lets on, even if he has a lovely laugh. I don't know what you want or why you're messing with me. I'm not coming any closer until I know you aren't going to attack or bite. I won't bite hard unless you beg me. Fuck. No matter what I say, he finds a way to twist my words into innuendo. Even when I'm silent, he goes on as though we're having a conversation, not a standoff. Do you like dancing? There's a traveling troupe performing in Hightown tonight. The lutist is utterly exquisite, truly a performance to die for. There's life in this dreadful place if you know where to look. You sound like you know the city well. The man's gaze flickers from me to the key dangling in his fingers. Naturally. This dump was little more than a miserable little smear when I first arrived. High town, low town, I know already like the back of my hand. What about the cenobium? Do you know where that is? His smile vanishes. Surely you've seen it. That absurdly large tower looming over the rest? It's a little hard to miss. It must mean that spire I noticed when I first caught sight of Iridia. The cenobium's overrated. Forget about it. I can show you things those stuffy boars in their limp dick tower couldn't even dream of. Oh gosh. I've already got plans. Oh? Have you some pressing matters at the cenobium? Lunch dates with librarians? Tea time with the most esteemed abbess? It's my business. What's it matter to you? I square my shoulders and the amusement bleeds out of him. And your loss. The stranger, finally bored of his tedious game, extends his hand to me. The key rests on his palm, neatly dividing skin and leather. When he makes no other move, I reach for the key, but as soon as my fingers graze smooth brass, his hand springs shut around my elbow. Hey! He yanks me down and I stagger, my soul slipping on the steps. For a sick moment, I fear my bandages will unravel under his touch, but he's careful not to disturb them even as his finger digs into my arm. I knew I smelled blood. You reek of death at the road. And that fucking doctor. His voice, once silken, lowers to a smoky growl. The shadows around him seethe and boil as he pulls me closer. And something else. He murmurs against my throat, nose grazing my jaw. Let go! I try to twist away, but he doesn't budge. His breath trails down my neck, sending a thrill of dread through me. But just when I fear he'll bite, he takes a deep whiff instead. His wide, flat eyes gleam with naked hunger as he gazes up at me. Not quite human, not quite monster. Seems we're both... fair! The stranger's ears flatten, and he releases me with a short breath. I yank my arm back, massaging it where his grip left grooves in the bandages. The stranger twists around to watch a woman duck from the curtains behind him. Her press uniform marks her as a cleric of the Cenobium. I leave you for all of, 10 minutes, and you're making trouble again? Will you quit harassing the tourists? The stranger, fair I take it, rolls his eyes and flashes the cleric a withering smile. So suspicious. Can't you see this is a friend of mine? A natural liar, he grins at me and his tail switches minutely. The woman purses her lips at me, clearly unconvinced. I'm unconvinced that this is a demo. How long is this game? I open my mouth to correct him, but Bear cuts in. I was graciously offering my dear friend some free advice. Though his voice remains light and cheerful, his expression darkens. Danger is drawn to you like moth to a flame. It will always find you given time. The woman clicks her tongue as though she's heard this recital 102 times. Word of advice: don't take free advice from lazy foxes lounging in the streets. This crook would sell water to a drowning man for the sheer enjoyment of it. He shrugs off a wilting look from Bear. Oh please, any friend of yours knows it's true, now hold still. Bear rises gracefully at her approach. He brushes his hair aside so it drapes over one shoulder, exposing the long line of his neck. And suddenly it dawns on me that the jingling I heard wasn't coming from the harness, but a leash. A heavy iron chain wound around a hitching post and padlocked to the back of his collar. Bear posed deliberately to hide his leash from me. The woman produces a keyring from her pocket. She raffles through a dozen identical keys before selecting one and slotting it into the lock. Come on, unless your friend's tagging along on our merry little solace hunt. They're hunting for solace inside the city? Words momentarily fail me. The woman regards me with a polite, if tight smile before marching down the stairs. Bear lingers. Stretches his arms over his head with a yawn. Then I try not to stare at the way his stomach flattens when he arches his back. Damn. I'm getting details. Your little secret's safe with me. Trying to get yourself killed, Bear hops off the stoop and bounds after the woman. His tail sways merrily as though he hadn't just lied and threatened me. Did you try that thing I mentioned? The Leventian's nut? The one where you take 3 fingers and... Actually, don't tell me. Knowing you, it's disgusting. Bear's airy laughter echoes down the street. It's only after he and the cleric have vanished that I realize I'm still missing something. Wait! Reflexively, I shove my hands into my pocket and find it. The room key. I pull it out and raise it to the light just to be sure. A nagging feeling distracts from my relief. I don't know what Bear's game was, or what he wanted from me. All I know for certain is that the Cenobium saw fit to leash him. A fate I could share, if that's what his vague warning meant. I let my eyes drift skyward, past the lanterns gently swaying in the breeze to the Cenobiums faintly visible through the haze. Just one glimpse is all I need, and then I can put this all behind me. This time, the key goes into my coin purse for safekeeping. A thing that will not also get stolen from me. How long is this demo? I have to end the episode because it's time. Guys, go play Touchstarved. I'm playing it on itch. There might be a demo on Steam too. I know it's got a wish list. You can go wishlist it on Steam. God, this looks fun. This looks like a good time. I'm excited to play more of it. Maybe on the show, maybe not. Who knows? Goodbye.